I would like to thank the ISPs. This plan to move forward is not an anti-ISP plan. This is about the future. It's about being responsive to the business model. The ISPs have been a good partner. They've worked hard and made their commitment on Plan B, and so they should be commended for their work. And the purpose of moving forward is not to punish good behavior, but to continue to make CLIC viable.
Thank you. And there was one slide I forgot, so can we scroll to the end? Next steps. Utility Board will evaluate the all-in financial model and make a recommendation to the City Council by late September. I was told that was aggressive, but you need to be aspirational. So I'm hoping that we can get this resolved soon and give the public an opportunity to weigh in on what is being proposed. So I just want to get that slide out there. All right. Yes. Chair Patterson.
Chair part always bothers me. Thank you. Couple of things, and I hope I'm not sounding too preachy, but it is true that we agree on the committee agreed on a lot of things, but it's also the case that we disagree on a lot of things. And in addition to these models, there has always been in the back waiting in the wings another funding alternative, which is some sort of a public-private partnership. If the public bodies cannot agree on a funding scheme that will work to make this work, then all of us should turn and go to that as the next thing, as a way to preserve and improve the internet services and so forth being provided to our customers. Because we think there are other participants in the community, private participants, who would negotiate with us, as Wave had talked about, to provide high-quality internet service, high-service cable television at affordable rates. I mean, I think we can achieve many of the public goals, but certainly not all of them, but many of the public goals through negotiation with the appropriate partner. We don't know who that is. Right. We know that Rainier Connect has been interested. We know Wave was interested at one point. We believe there to be others who are still interested. But we have to get past, if you will, this publicly operated system in order to go out and with a straight face and negotiate with these folks, because that's kind of where we were. I entered into this process hoping that we could figure out a way to get the ratepayers, the power ratepayers, out of the financing of this. I think we all started with the proposition that the ratepayers shouldn't be, in the best of all worlds, obligated to cover the losses of the cable TV business. Mm-hmm. That's where we kind of started. And what we hoped in going into this process was we could find another group of products to earn our way out of that. And what we learned is that might have been a possibility earlier, 2010, 2012, but the current marketplace and new entrants in the marketplace and the way that very complex and active business works makes it unlikely that we can earn our way out. The group of products just aren't going to cover all of the costs with the cost structure that we have. So then we sort of shifted our attention to, are there municipal funding opportunities that we haven't previously explored, that I wanted to make sure that there was an opportunity for the city council members who attended this committee to help us with that. Because again, if my goal is to get the ratepayers out, the money has to come from somewhere. If you really look at the history of this and the way it's put together, the cable TV business and the wholesale internet businesses are businesses of the city of Tacoma that they've delegated the operation to Tacoma Power. It's y'all's business, and we need to figure out a way, if we're going to keep it in a publicly operated, publicly funded mode, you ought to have an opportunity to participate in that and tell us how you would like to do that. We learned a lot. The committee learned a lot. There's lots of benefits that we identified in the reports for the municipally funded enterprise. We learned a lot about what we thought a structure of this business should look like. we have a general idea of the services that the business should operate. I mean, there was a lot of agreement amongst the group on some elements, but we haven't agreed on a funding plan because we have inherent disagreements about what the funding plan should look like. And so, and again, I'm not trying to preach, but here's my personal take on this. The utilities, Tacoma Public Utilities, is a body of limited authority. There are many important and useful and cool ideas out there that you all have, the public all has, and everything else that will improve the citizens' lives of Tacoma tremendously. The city has better authority to pursue those than the TPU does. TPU and its board don't have that broad kind of authority, even if we want to pursue some of those other goals. We're in a box, and we're inside the box, and your box is bigger than our box. We can help if the activity involves delivery of power and water and rail, but not otherwise. And so my view, and again, others on the board disagree with that, certain members of the council disagree with that, but my view is that the current businesses and even the all-in model are more of a burden on the ratepayers than a benefit. And I cannot find a power provision benefit to those models. And so, in my view, there is no reason, or there are fewer reasons, that the city couldn't create this all-in company and impose the what we're calling a surcharge or a utility fee or a service fee, whatever you want to call it, impose that to provide those benefits. I think the city is in a better position to do that than TPU is. If neither of us want to do that, then we ought to, again, pivot and look at, is there another way to find the financing through private investment to accomplish as many of those public benefits as we possibly can? And I think there is. So that's my 2 bits. Thanks.
Thank you, Chair Patterson. Councilmember Ibsen.